Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of Wands. You're the type of person that you'll try to do everything yourself, you know? And I don't know if you've always been that way or if that's something that's sort of going on lately, you know, but I feel like you're the one who is just, you're gonna try to carry every single grocery bag from the car to the house. You know, you're gonna load up your arms with those grocery bags and you're just gonna be carrying them into the house like this. You don't want anybody to help you. You know, and I don't know if this is just, if it's something where it's just like you want the satisfaction of knowing that you did it yourself. You want all the rewards, right? This is something that you don't want any help because then you're going to have to share the spoils, you know. But you are you're a person with a lot of responsibilities. And so trying to carry all of the weight of all of these groceries yourself, I think, is a lot, okay? You may even be already experiencing some tension, you know, and a lot of, I think, a lot of tension that we might be unaware of. Okay, we're going to put this card into some context, see what you're putting all this effort into, see why it feels like it's all on your shoulders, if it really is, or should you be asking for help? Should you be allowing someone else to carry the grocery bags, right? Let's see what we might come up with. Okay, and this could be, we've got the Four of Swords. This could be a situation where, you know, you might have to break down and hire somebody. You know, if this is your own business or if this is just your life, maybe you need somebody else to start pulling some weight, whether that is your family members, right, or friends or somebody, coworkers, right? Or if this is the idea that you finally got to break down and hire somebody to do some of this work. Okay, because sometimes with the 10 of Wands, you're putting in all of this effort, doing everything that some of that effort could be better spent somewhere else. It's not that you're gonna just go down to like, you know, 50%. You're still putting in maximum effort, but put your effort in where you're going to be able to make the most difference. You know what I mean? Trying to do every little thing ourselves is taking up a lot of energy doing things that other people could or should be doing. Maybe it's going to free you up to do the big things, you know, work on those big picture things. Yeah. So we've got a Four of Swords, we've got a High Priestess, we've got the Devil energy. Yeah, of course we do. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. There we go. Get ready for success. This is nice. And we've got a Prince of Cups. Yeah, I'm chuckling because with the Four of Swords and the Prince of Cups, it's kind of like you don't want to invite anybody to help you because you feel like you probably won't like them. You know, you feel like maybe there'd be an incompatibility. I don't think it's even so much about sharing the spoils. I just think it's like you know that you work well by yourself. You know, and adding another personality into the mix. It might be more work than benefit, you know. Anyway, we're going to keep going. We've got the Temperance card. We've got a Queen of Cups now. We got the Prince and the Queen of Cups. Got the Emperor. And we've got the Eon. Leveling up, big time success. Look at that. The Eon is the doorway to a new future. That new future is going to transcend what you thought the profits were going to be. This is what you thought the spoils were going to be, right? 10 of Pentacles. Really, you're getting 100 of Pentacles, 1,000 of Pentacles. You're going to realize that the 10 of Pentacles, right? This much is nothing, right? This much is just a drop in the bucket of what you could potentially be earning, receiving, or accomplishing, whatever it is that we're talking about, if this is a financial thing, a work thing, or whatever. And maybe it is about sort of redirecting some of your fiery energy, some of your ambition, some of your vital energy, your commitment, your attention needs to be put on other things. Find a way to dispense with some of this. I don't know, it's kind of like micromanaging. In a way, it feels as if, again, you want to carry every single grocery bag into the house. Okay, good. That's wonderful, right? But that same time and energy that you're spending doing that, you could be doing something that's going to be even more profitable, right? You were worried so much about the day-to-day little things. I'm going to go and refill the paper in the copier, or I'm going to refill the ink in the printer, or I'm going to go make some coffee and do this. I'm going to clean out the fridge, and I do all these things, but it's just like, get somebody else to do those things, because your energy needs to be focused on what's the big thing that we've got to do next. It's kind of like you're the CEO of the company, and yes, the CEOs that get down and dirty and they're in there scrubbing out the microwave too, that's great, right? But if that's how they spend their entire day every day, nothing's going to succeed. Nothing is going to really prosper. There's going to be a very finite amount that you can accomplish. Okay? And maybe this is not the best analogy, but I feel without some sort of help, honestly, without some sort of help, you're limited in what you can accomplish. Okay? And I feel that's kind of what our 10 of Wands is talking about. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. Don't forget, Gemini, you are magic. Now, we're not going to look at this card until the very end. It will tie everything together and give us our conclusion at the end of the reading. It's going to wrap everything up nicely, I'm hoping. If you have a prediction for that card, please do put it down in the comments below. All right, we can do it together. We can make it a group effort. We can practice our intuition, which we need to use in this case. We've got that High Priestess. Let's take a look around the room. We've got major, 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 major. This is major, right? This is a major situation for you. This is the big time. You're playing in the big leagues here, right? You're the one that, you've got to be out here sort of winning the game. You don't have time to be polishing all of the baseballs, whatever they do, waxing the mitts and something. Anyway, you've got to focus on what you're good at doing and what is going to lead to the exponential growth and success of your life right now. Okay? I feel that you've been caught up in a lot of these minor details of something. And maybe it's not necessarily about you finding help, about you hiring somebody or sharing the workload with anybody else. Maybe that's not quite it. But I think it is about you realizing what you've been paying attention to, how you've been occupying your time, what you've been putting your effort into, and how we can redirect some of that fiery energy into things that are going to give you more bang for your buck. Yeah. We've got good major arcana energy. We got the driving force. We've got the engine here. This is your endurance. This is your ambition. This is good, right? This is strong, powerful. I'm going to climb that mountain kind of energy. You got the intuition here that's trying to tell you something about this central issue, the 10 of Wands with the 4 of Swords. You're meant to be paying attention to the way you're paying attention, right? We have obviously more fire energy over here too. We've got the Art or Temperance card. This is the pressure cooker. This is you feeling as if the heat is on. That, and when you're in this kind of pressure, it almost feels like I have to pay attention to the details. The little details are what matter. Yes, that's true. but you also have to think about the larger picture, the larger strategy. Okay, so I feel like you're in a high stakes game right now. You know, you're in a you're playing a high stakes poker game, and it's kind of like we're worried about what the I don't know what the servers are doing, you know, or who ordered the mozzarella sticks or whatever. You know, we're sort of distracted. Our attention is going somewhere else, and I don't know if that's your way of sort of perceiving some subtle information that actually is useful. I don't know if you're playing poker. Do you need to worry about what everybody's eating? Maybe that's part of your strategy, trying to read into people, or they're having the spicy buffalo wings. Okay, well they're going to get some sort of, you know, some stomach issues, and maybe they're not going to be on top of their game. So I'm going to keep my eye on that other player. You know, something like that. I don't know. But I feel like it's a very pressure cooker sort of situation for you. Yeah, and it's important that you use your energy in the right way. Okay, and well, that's what the Emperor is trying to do. The Emperor is trying to have that sort of discipline, and the Emperor is trying to, trying to direct your fiery energy to where it really needs to go. It's kind of like, you know, your boss is telling you, hey, you know, I know you really like working in this department and stuff, but I need you to go work in that other department, because that's where maybe that's what you've been hired to do. That's what you're really good at. That's where you're going to be of the most use, the most success. That's where you're going to accomplish the most. Yeah, but I really like working in the mailroom, you know. And it's just kind of the Emperor is the one that has to say, look, this, you know, it may feel better for me. It may be more immediately rewarding for me to carry all the groceries in the house and say, I did it. Yes, but you're supposed to be like, at work or whatever it is. And so it might be more immediately gratifying to do some of these things. But in terms of the long term, the bigger picture, we've got to refocus that energy. And that's what the Emperor is trying to do, of course, to take us through this fiery doorway of the future. And we're going to have to, refocus some of this Ten of Wands if we're going to get through this to this doorway. The way things are now, I don't think we're going to get through there. Right? So we might have to let go of some of these activities, maybe. Some of these things that we're putting our attention on, that we're giving our energy to, right? That are not useful in the situation at hand. Okay, and of course the Four of Swords is sort of our ability to not listen to that Emperor that's trying to tell us how we can optimize our energy. And another thing with the Ten of Wands is that idea of not knowing where our energy is really being wasted. And it's kind of this idea of body tension. And when we're looking around the room, we do see our fire right here in the middle. We have some water energy over here. We have a little bit of air, and we've got a little bit of earth. It's mostly major arcana. There's not a lot of earth energy. And so in some ways, when we're thinking of the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, makes me wonder if you're holding a lot of tension in your body. Okay? And I just did a reading for, what was it? I think it was Aries where we had this conversation. And of course now we've got the Aries power card, so you might want to go watch the Aries reading today as well. Because I feel like there might be some tension being held in the body, or there might just be this idea of too much of our power, too much of our energy, too much calories, right, being expended on these little things that shouldn't be on our plate to do anyway. If they are, we're putting way too much effort into them. It's like you're scrubbing the dishes too hard. You're breaking a sweat because you're scrubbing the dish. They're not that dirty, right? They just need a little wipe, and gently just sort of put them away, and they're fine, right? We don't need to be using all this energy. It's kind of like, you're tearing a sheet of paper, but you're using all the force as if you were tearing a phone book. You're burning so many calories doing something that should just take a little tiny bit of effort, right? So to me, that's an inefficiency. And it's kind of the way we sometimes get some of our tension locked up in our body. You know, I have a tendency to sort of clench my jaw, grind my teeth and stuff at night. I'm seeing the dentists and doctors about that. I have a bit of a TMJ disorder going on. You know, I think of how much force I'm putting into sort of grinding my teeth at night and during the day sometimes too. You know, and that's energy that's being wasted. It's actually not to be, you know, I mean, not to talk too much about my personal issues, but it's, you know, it's affecting my teeth and my jaw, and it's really, it's doing more damage than it actually is productive. We think of, you know, grinding your teeth and chewing, right? It's good when you're trying to eat. It's bad when you're trying to sleep, right? And that's kind of that to me is a Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles kind of issue. There's so much force going on that it's unnecessary. You know, sometimes when you're like, you're really trying to chew your ice cream, you know, and don't really need to. You're probably doing more harm than good, right? So I think you need to be aware of that. If you do feel like you're sort of holding a lot of tension in your body, or you're doing things with too much force, that it's actually causing more harm than it is building up something. You know, we're tearing down instead of building up. But also with the Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, it's maximum effort, maximum rewards. Okay? And I feel like that's your mindset. I feel like, well, if I give everything 110%, it's going to be 110% rewarding. If I scrub the hell out of these dishes, they're going to be super duper duper clean, right? And it makes sense. That's logical. You know, the more effort you put into it, the more benefit, the more rewards, the more profit you're going to get out of it. But I think what Spirit's trying to tell you between your intuition and your sort of emperor energy is that there's a new way to do it. Right? There's a way to do it where, yes, you can put in maximum effort and get maximum rewards, but we don't have to be limited. It's like you're thinking in too small of a scale almost. Because one thing we know about the 10 of anything really, and the 10 of Wands, this applies to the 10 of Wands too, is that it's not a 10. The 10 isn't the limit. The 10 isn't the ceiling. It's just that we in the West, we count in a base 10 manner. It's 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, and then a whole bunch. Some cultures, they count in a base 2. They say it's 1, it's 2, and it's a whole bunch. Or base 7, or base 12, or whatever it is, right? We just happen to be 10. So we know that we get a 10, and we know that it's not really a limited thing. It's not just there's 9, there's 10, and then there's no more. It's exponential, right? The 10 becomes 100, becomes 1,000, becomes 100,000, 1,000,000, whatever it is, however you count it. But the same thing with the effort too. And so it is, you know, maximum effort becomes maximum reward, but there really is no maximum, is there? Because it's exponential. The more we put in, it's true, the more we get out. We might as well do this as efficiently as possible, because then we're still pushing the hardest that we can, but we're able to sort of get more and more and more out of it. Does that make sense? So if we are very, very efficient, then we're going to cover a larger distance here with sort of the same amount of fuel. Yeah. And I think that's what the Emperor and the Eon card are trying to convey to you right now, is that there is a more efficient way for you to do the things that you're doing, whether this is your own business, if this is, maybe you've got your own YouTube channel, and you're realizing that you're sort of responsible for everything. And it might be time to sort of outsource a couple of things. Are there a couple of things you don't need to be doing anymore? Should your efforts be put into something else? And you can ask for help to do some of these other little tasks, right? Maybe you need to hire someone to do the video editing, or you need to, whatever it is. The Four of Swords, of course, is our need to recognize this, to realize this, to be open-minded. This is sometimes a closed mind. It's a 4. We're sort of boxed in, And this is us with the difficulty of getting out of this 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles mindset that says, I do everything myself and I can reap maximum rewards. Yeah, maybe there's a better way to invest some of our energy, to get those sort of exponential rewards. I feel like you're in store for some really, really major success. We've just got to be open-minded about ways that we might listen to the intuition underneath everything here. The High Priestess. High Priestess is showing you the way to the Empress energy. The Empress is the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups multiplied exponentially, infinitely. Okay, it is the spiritual energy, the major arcana card that represents the sort of the infinite abundance, the infinite potential of abundance. And of course, the High Priestess is card number 2 of the tarot, the second mystery. The Empress is card number 3. The High Priestess is showing you the way. The High Priestess is showing you the door to the future. And it's sort of it's that instinct, it's that intuition, it's that divine guidance that's trying to reach you. And I think you feel something, you feel it inside of you. You know that there's a better way to do things, a more efficient way to go about it, or that by sort of by clearing your plate a little bit, or asking for help, or outsourcing some of the things that are on your plate, even if it sounds counterintuitive, you got to spend money to make money, right? You've got to give some of your responsibility away to other people so that you can achieve more, right? So that we can then get past whatever ceiling that you've imagined is up there, right? And maybe that's the point here. Maybe it's that you've been feeling that you sort of have reached a cap. Maybe you're feeling as if you've sort of reached a ceiling, you've reached a plateau, and how do I get past this? I think Spirit's trying to show you the way, okay? Looking back at the past with the Devil energy, this is your ambition. Now, this is you started this as a one-person show probably. Whether this is your business or this is a family thing, it's a career, this is your life, whatever it is. Maybe you're retired, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Maybe this is your university career, right? You've got the ambition. You've got the driving force. You're not afraid of hard work, Gemini. Not by any means, okay? And the goat, this is that mountain goat that's going to climb the mountain, that you want to get all the pentacles, right? And the pentacles, again, are sort of the arbitrary ceiling that we might be perceiving right now. The sort of the end of the path, the completion of this. It's sort of a plateau. Because when we get to the top of the mountain, if the fog will clear, we can see that there's more mountain to climb. Every time, right? Every time. So there's no limit to how high you can go. There's no limit to what you can achieve. There's no limit to your success. And the goat will keep climbing until something stops it. Until you say, that's enough. Or until there's some sort of a blockage of energy. Until there's, it's sort of the momentum. An object in motion, a soul in motion, will stay in motion until acted upon by some force. Whether that force is sort of you, maybe running out of steam, or getting caught up in sort of these other details, or if it feels like something from outside is blocking you. Okay, so we're climbing that mountain. Now, the pentacles don't have to mean money. Feels like this is success generally, and it indicates usually a financial success. All your hard work paying off. This is the picture of your best life. And I used to, back in the day, ask you, when we'd get this card, I'd ask you, get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil. Can you draw a picture of your best life? Right? And now I ask you that again. Can you draw a picture of your best life? You got your pets, your plants, your people, some other stuff in there too. Now I want you to get, a few more sheets of paper, tape them to the first one, and keep drawing. And when you're done with that, get more pieces of paper, tape those together. Make it one, it's not just one sheet of paper. It's exponential. You can keep adding more. You can keep taping more sheets of paper to this. And realize that maybe we've been looking at this mountain in the wrong way. Maybe this is just a little hill. Maybe this is just one plateau of the mountain, and there's so much more up there. Right? And I think you're seeing now, because we're opening our mind a little bit, we're understanding how we can get up there. You know, some of this fog is clearing. And I think maybe with the Ten of Wands too, that we need a little bit of rest. You know, we need to stop exerting our energy in a way that is not either not productive in this situation or is not restorative, right? And what we really need is some more of the water energy. Now, we've got the Prince of Cups here in the future position, but I feel like this is part of the Four of Swords and the idea that we're not really keen on asking for help because we work better alone. And that's the goat. It's the solitary mountain goat that wants to climb the mountain all by itself and enjoy it on its own. But now, of course, with the Ten of Wands sort of saying there's a partnership that could really benefit you. And we're a little bit closed off to that, but I think if we embrace that, it's going to help us. I don't know who this partner is. I don't know if this is even necessarily a partner. It could be a Scorpio person in your life, or it could be a Scorpio person in your future. Okay, but this is also the acceptance that you are a vulnerable human, mortal being. This is a card that kind of says, sometimes I run out of fire energy and I need some restorative healing. I need some sleep, right? This is sort of admitting that you're human, This is admitting that you can't keep going the way you're going now because you're bumping up against the ceiling, but you keep climbing and just bumping in there. You're spinning your wheels. You're busting a lot of energy out. And it's time for a little bit of restorative sleep and realizing that you've got needs that you've got to fulfill. Okay, a little self-care going on. But I do believe that there's an idea of a partnership here. Not like a 50-50 thing. It's not like a partnership in that way, but it feels to me as if there are other people around that can help you out in some sort of way. And it's just about kind of being able to ask for help. Being able to ask, hey, can you carry a couple of grocery bags for me today? Not every day, not every time you go to the grocery store, but once in a while, hey, can you do this? I need to go, rest or eat or whatever, right? Or go apply this energy to something that you're aware is sort of more urgent than the groceries. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and I do appreciate that. I have another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories, where I read some short stories aloud. So go check that out too if you think you might be interested. All right. So your general energy, of course, is that Ardor Temperance card, feeling like we're in the pressure cooker, feeling like I don't have time for self-care because it's crazy out here. I don't have time to take care of myself or to even admit that I have needs because it's go, 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 go. I don't have time to sit down and sort this out because there's so much to do. It's all on my shoulders. I got a laundry list, the size of Texas that I've got to get to. I don't have time to even sit down and think about it. I just got to do one thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. That's the Ten of Wands, and that's the Four of Swords saying I don't have time to evaluate this. But of course, we know that your intuition is telling you that something does need a little bit of streamlining. Something needs a little bit more economy, maybe, right? But the heat is on, the pressure's on. You feel this is a high stakes thing, and you're not slowing down, right? It's almost saying you got to slow down a little bit if you want to speed up. Counterintuitive. That's why the Four of Swords saying, it doesn't make sense. That's not computing, right? The next card, of course, is not logical or rational at all. It is a Queen of Cups. It is about emotional transparency. It really is about being honest with yourself, about how you feel, about what you need, about what you want. And it's in some ways you have to ask what you want here too. And this is again that question, can you draw a picture of your best life? Can you draw a picture of the life you want? Okay? You can use one sheet of paper if that's what you want, but you've got to be honest with yourself about it. Do you want this to be exponential growth? Do you want to really, get the more money, more problems, right? More work, more reward, but then more work, right? So you got to be really honest about what you want. And you've got to be willing to be honest about what you need. And then allow that emotional honesty, emotional transparency with yourself, lifting the veil of your own emotions and asking, how do I really feel about things? What do I really want? What do I really need? Am I sore? Is my body breaking down? Do I need help? And being honest with yourself about that, and then allowing the Emperor to make those kinds of decisions. Not here with the Four of Swords where that ego or that mind is saying, no, I don't have time to listen. I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just going to keep going. Being very honest about what we want in life and what we need and making those decisions to get that. That Emperor energy is what we need. And that is, it's kind of like, someone who is starting a business and they're trying to do everything themselves. They're trying to do the business side of things, the legal side of things, the creative side of things, right? The strategic, the marketing, all the stuff. Eventually, I think a lot of people in that situation realize that we need to hire some people. We need somebody to just answer phones. I need somebody that can do, all the office sort of stuff. And then sometimes we realize that, I need to hire someone that can structure and order the whole thing. Sometimes we feel like, well, I'm going to be the CEO. But then maybe it's like, maybe I should hire a CEO. Right? And that seemed to me, that's always sounded. Now, the company that I worked for, it was somebody who started a small business. They started it in their garage. Here it is. It's 15 or 20 years now. I'm not there anymore. I quit a couple of years ago to do this actually full time. But they started the business in their garage, and it got bigger. They hired a few people to help. It started to grow. And then there came a time where that business owner, the one who started the business, owns the business, decided, I got to hire someone to be in charge. I got to hire a CEO, someone that can be that chief executive officer, that can make the decisions, can structure things, can make all those big decisions so that the owner, the founder of the company, can think about more of those big picture things. You're still the owner. It's not like they gave the company away, but they hired somebody to control all that stuff so that they can figure out sort of even just kind of as a vision, where to take the company next, how to move forward into the future, those big picture things, right? Not the day-to-day operational things. Okay, so it's either we're the CEO or we realize that we got to hire one, or that we need somebody else to sort of to take care of the day-to-day operations of things. And this is in a more psychological or esoteric way. The Emperor represents our ego, right? And the higher self is sort of left to think about more lofty things, long-term goals, and mystical, magical sort of things, cosmic things. And the ego is then put in charge of running the day-to-day operations. Okay, but if we're running those day-to-day operations and we're wasting money, we're wasting effort, we're wasting the labor that we're paying for, then we're not a very good CEO, right? So we have to ask ourselves that question, like who's the CEO of our lives, and are they doing a good job? It's not like we can really. I guess we can sort of outsource our life, CEO to somebody else. But I think we have to learn how to be the very best leader of our own lives. Okay, and I think when we get that realization, and if we start to look at our life in that way, we realize that, the High Priestess is showing us the doorway to the infinite, abundant future. I think you're the chosen one, Gemini. I think you're getting ready for success here. You're being trained to be the very best CEO possible, to get through this doorway, this magical doorway to the future, to a new era where these 10 of Pentacles are just multiplying. It's 1,000, it's 100,000 of Pentacles. This is a divine doorway. Okay, let's look at this mystery card. Let's see if we get some confirmation. Maybe we'll get some cups cards. I want some pip cards in the suit of cups, like a 9, a 9 of cups. 9 of Pentacles would be good too. Let's see what we have. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's check it out. It's the Knight of Cups. Well, it is a Cups card, so I was sort of halfway right. I'll give a little bell. This is, I think, this is you following the larger quest, right? This is it's a Knight of Cups, right? It's that sort of passionate pursuit of that elusive Holy Grail, or on that bigger quest. And I think that this is one of, this has larger implications than just our sort of daily life. It goes beyond just the day-to-day operations of the company. It's about the bigger picture, the future of the company, the purpose of why is the company here? How big is it going to grow? And what other areas of business is it going to enter into? How is it going to grow? How is it going to continue pursuing that objective, that sort of purpose, that mission statement in a way, right? So it's interesting too that we have the Prince of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and then the Knight of Cups. I feel like there is a maturing of your energy here. And then the Knight of Cups, of course, becomes one that is, I think, not full of the tension that we see, for one thing. They seem more relaxed, right? They seem more focused on ways that their energy can be used more efficiently, more effectively, and devoted to that higher purpose. This is sort of a Cancer energy. Sort of reminds me of a Chariot card, that you're the one that you're not maybe operating the day-to-day situation, the day-to-day operations, but you are the one that's sort of steering the ship in its longer, sort of greater journey. Yeah. This is a card about giving and receiving love and affection. This is a card I think about pursuing those things that you need to feel fulfilled and happy and connected. Especially when we're talking about the emotional honesty and transparency, determining what you want and what you need, and then going after it passionately, putting your energy into those things. So maybe some of these pentacles here need to change. Maybe some of your goals, you're going to realize that you don't really like them anymore. You don't want those goals anymore. You don't feel the same way about them. And so maybe that's a way of sort of pulling back in some of your fiery energy to devote to those things that you do want. Those goals that you do want to pursue. Yeah. Anyway, very interesting reading. We're going to do an extended as well. If you want to watch the extended, and I think you should, there's a link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Gemini are on Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Subscribe also to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Leave a comment if you want to say hi or let me know how you're doing. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.